because this is the time of learning to organize or orient towards your own dreams. So I see someone says, oh, it felt safe and accepted to raise a strong son, but the parents are threatened by you. You have a vision, but it doesn't feel safe to go for it. Well, guess what? It won't feel safe. That's okay. How do you tolerate the feeling of non-safety and not get hijacked by it? It's about how we orient our attention. So let's do this. Take your hands and imagine you are zipping together the midline of your organ tube. This is an action in embryology. It's literally a function that happens, and it's called invagination. It means we're knitting together or zipping together the openness into a potency. So with the digestive tube, we're invaginating all the way along. Feel that it's like a little, like you're bringing two sides together. You're organizing, and do this all the way down your central axis. You have to maybe flip your hands over to get to the lower part and really organize that closure of the gut tube, because that's your desire to fulfillment in a way, that you have the strength and the potency internally. And when you have internal chutzpah or support, it's okay if it doesn't feel safe out there. Is that really true? And how do you know it's true? If you don't take any risks, you won't even know if it's safe or not. And I can tell you in my own creative process, because many of you know I've created a lot, and it's been my passion to help with healing. I'm a somatic educator. I love sharing tools. And so I've had to write about it and make it accessible. But it wasn't safe all the time. I had despair moments. I felt like giving up. I had a dream of having a wisdom school, since I was for years and years and years. It's finally happening. But when I first had the dream, I wasn't ready for it. And so it didn't work. So it's not like it's like you have the idea and there it is and that's how it should be. No. This is a relationship with your creativity and your desire, and finding your midline so that you can hold the potency needed to meet with obstacles. Now, we just did the frontal invagination of the gut tube. And then you want to, you might have to use imaginary hands because it could be a little hard to reach. But you want to do the invagination of the neural tube, which is the other tube. We have a gut tube and a neural tube in embryology. There's a short time where we have also the notochord in between that later becomes the discs of our spine, which give us some buoyancy and some flexibility. But we want a nice, clear midline to return to. And that's the power of nursing for a baby, is it helps develop this midline. It's developing in embryology. Ideally, if we were nursing, you get the whole organization of the palate, the movement of the brain and the skull on the spine and the brainstem and the parasympathetic rest and digest. But if you didn't get that, you're not broken. I didn't have nursing. They threw my mom's breast milk away when I was in the incubator. They got me on the bottle and the formula. But you're not broken. When you realize that you have some choice, and maybe you have to work with your own fear of success. Put a 3 in the, or that's a 4. Put a 3 in the comment section if you're actually afraid of succeeding. I was that way. I thought I'll be overwhelmed. I can't ever deal with all this overwhelm. And, that's not true. You learn how to meet it so you're not overwhelmed. and get even more support. But you gotta have that willingness to vision, to dream, to feel. So let's keep it simple. Internal chutzpah, you bet. Well, maybe you want to join my 4-month program. You know, if you might need some guidance and some containment and some challenge to get through habits you might be loyal to. Because I want to say something about repeating what's familiar. You know, repeating what's familiar. The nervous system does that because it thinks it's a good idea. But it's not how evolution happens. You know, we have to evolve and take, hello, what pretty flowers. We have to evolve and take action, sometimes out of our comfort zone, in order to create. So we've got our invagination, right? We did our gut tube. We did our neural tube behind us. And you can have a friend help you with that if it's too hard to reach around your back. Now we've got this internal support. And then we allow the dreaming consciousness. And this is often what you call brainstorming. You know, and where people can get stuck with the vision consciousness is that they have to think they have to know how. I love this book. This is a great book that I used that really helped me years and years ago, when I was really at a loss of how to move forward in my life. And I used a book called Wishcraft. And in Wishcraft, you design 5 different lives. Now, there's no way they could all happen. I wanted to be in the circus. I wanted to, you know, present at conferences. I wanted to be in the woods in a little cabin. Those lives don't work if I'm trying to figure out how. But actually, they all started to come together. It was amazing. And then my husband died, and my whole world just, you know, disintegrated in what I had planned with him and with our lives. And I had to reinvent myself. So you don't know, you know, you can't give up, is what I'm trying to say, because your soul won't like it. That there's a place of inspiration and practicality and resiliency and meeting heartbreak. You know, meeting heartbreak and letting some dreams go. And then all of a sudden back around they come in an even better way. Some people say that, you know, the universe will help you with a much better design if you get out of the way. Well, I hope so too, right? But there's something about taking the practical action that allows the universe to know you mean it. That there's enough life force in your dreaming that whoever, the energy lines up. Because like attracts, right? So if you're just being afraid to try it, you're going to attract more fear. Or if you're going to love magical thinking, you're going to attract all kinds of magical ideas, but none of them will coalesce into a true manifestation of a dream or vision. So it's very, very important that we have not only the dreaming, but the potency, the ability to take hold and pull on that dream and get nourishment from it that will help us bring it into fruition. So this could be your best year ever. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, join me for my free workshop, really, and come on live at least one of the days, because you'll enter a drawing on that day to win a free book. Any book of your choice that I've written. And if you share this invitation in your stories and tag it, you could win a session with me. I don't see that many people individually at all because I have so much I'm working with and creating. I'm training therapists. I have a whole group of people training with me right now, and they're going to be able to offer some intern price range sessions for people because we want to really make this work available. But there's lots of ways to work with me, and one way is free, and it starts on Sunday. So bring your frustrations. You don't have to already know what to do. but we're going to keep it in the body. We're going to keep it practical. We're going to help you kind of live with a little buoyancy of the dream, a little grounded rootedness and buoyancy, because we live between heaven and earth. We have the imaginations of the heavens and the reality of tether your camel, keep your life functional, make sure you've, covered the bases. So here we are. Let's take a breath. And now, I want you to, imagine you could fold backwards over a ball and rest onto it. That there is support for the back of your heart. There is support all the way through down to the sacrum. If you have a ball, you can lay back over it. But there's, in embryology, we literally come into this world with a back ball of support and a front ball of support. The back ball is our amniotic sac. It's our fluid that we can rest into that's outside of us. And our little front ball is our yolk sac. It's our food source. And we are resting over this and bringing it in, and we are growing in response. We grow up and down. We develop our brain. We develop our limbs. We develop our spirals. But we have a balance between front and back. Yes, support for the back of the heart to receive love. It's so important that you can receive the love. And sometimes we have wounds or hurt around love and heartbreak, and we shut down. We don't even know it. Or sometimes we have an unresolved startle and we freeze. So then the heart doesn't have the motility, literally the spinal motility, to open and take in. And that's why we started with our idea of potency and waking up the mouth, receiving nourishment. And can you take a dream and bring it into nourishment, bringing it into an ability to imagine, because what it will do for you if you start living life this way, you will grow. You will grow because you will get frustrated and still have to move forward because your desire is stronger than your obstacle. You will have to get creative because you will think it should go this way, but actually there's something else waiting to happen, and it's even better. So this is so, so important, that it's not a mental process. And that's what I'm really masterful at, is taking things. We use our cognition, yes, but we don't get stuck in having it have to be mental or over-controlled, because there has to be a flow state to creativity. Now, let's just for fun, you've woken up your mouth and taking hold of your dream. Now wake up the tail end, because this is what leads to the ground. So you could squeeze and release your anus a bit. That's the end of the digestive tube. Hello, welcome. But get some movement right there between the tissues. The bladder is there, for women the uterus, the small intestine down there by the anus. Getting motility so that you can feel the earth. You can feel the support. And you don't have to go out with your creativity. Sometimes you can come in with it. And you can rest and digest. And you can process the fears, the doubt, the identity beliefs. That's what my, big 4-month mastermind class is about. So if you want to do a deep dive, take a look at that. And meanwhile, join me on Sunday. So let's see, there's something else to read here. Hello. Good for you. You have a dream of helping orphans. That is so important. And you're allowing that to happen, right? And sometimes our dream puts us in service. Sometimes our dream gives us just the opportunity to share the love, share the service. And that is so important. And those of you who don't know, where to send resources, check out Uganda. Send some over there, right? If you have abundance and you feel like you want to give back, there's need everywhere. And not to get caught in the need, but to feel the love of the interaction. I've worked with the, orphans a lot, with the sexually abused foster kids, and it's a story, it's a journey. And it can be very rewarding to find the light inside of people who have had quite a bit of trauma, or are afraid to trust, or don't know, where they came from in a way, or they're still longing for those missing parents. I work with adoption a lot, and to get to release that longing, to enjoy what is, to learn to receive, to learn to, oh, I'm here, I made it. Oh, I can create, I can think, I can, learn and develop. So, so important. So, so important. Ooh, so sometimes we don't want to get caught in our small story. Maybe your dream is a big dream. Maybe your dream is helping a lot of people or helping a certain population. Maybe your dream is creating something. But can your dream breathe and become alive? Can your dream breathe and become alive? So take a moment and go a little bit inward and feel the energy of yes. This is a fun game. Sometimes you'll hear me say smile into your organs. When I was little, I used to have such temper tantrums, and I'd get so frustrated if things just didn't work out the way I wanted, and I'd have big meltdowns. And I learned that was because of my high arousal from the incubator. My mom and I figured it out. She was very helpful and loving. And she put this poster on my wall when I was a little kid, and it was this little girl standing at the ocean with her arms raised, and you could just see her, yes, yes. And, that somehow helped me become resilient, to not give up. And so right now, see if you can go inward and feel a yes. Now, this is always tricky, right? Because what you might find is a no or a yes, but I can't. But I want you to focus on the yes and release and work with whatever interferes with that yes. So this is a moment, and there's I think YouTube's out there about power stances. You put your hands on your hips and you look in the mirror, or you raise your arms. Literally, that physical posturing creates a sense of possibility. And that's because we're so somatic. But I want you to find the yes internally and add the external. Almost like you can take in the yes. You can taste it. You don't even have to know yet what that dream is, but you're willing. Okay, I know. I'm here for a reason. Or I'm going to find my passion. Or I'm going to allow my creativity to surface. Sometimes people who have a very analytical brain are afraid of their creativity. Sometimes people who have a very creative brain are afraid of the containment and the analysis it takes to create something. It's all a feedback loop, and we need both. So don't default to one side or the other and stop your own visioning and dreaming. So have that internalized sensation, taking in nourishment. And sometimes the nourishment is just having enough food to eat, right? Having shelter. It's the very basic sense of need. So see if there's anything that bubbles up to meet your soul self that wants action this year. And don't make it too big. It could be a huge dream, but don't make it overwhelm you, is what I'm trying to say. If it's a huge dream, you are going to need some help, or you're going to need some tenacity. And sometimes we have to get out of the way so the energy of our dreaming can happen. So I want you to feel that dream and then feel an internalized yes. And notice if you get overexcited. Hi. If you have the yes, you have to be able to host it, to bring it into possibility. If you get too excited, you'll pop out. And, if you can't get a yes, you'll go into depression or comparison. So just find the middle way here. You have your dream. Feel it all the way to your toes. And then you can imagine yourself living in that dream. The truth is, it'll look different when it actually happens. But you can start imagining it. How will you feel waking up in the morning knowing you love what you do? Imagine, I love what I do. I'm happy to get out of bed. I can't hardly find enough time in the day to fit it all in my creativity. And then you learn to get help so you're not overwhelmed. But you don't stop your dreaming. Here you are, because every one of you got born. I mean, this sounds weird, of course, but you made it. You had a dream to exist. Now, some people say, I didn't want to be here, right? But actually, some part of you did, or you would have died. I've known babies who died in utero. I've been with mamas who, had a stillborn. It's like, you can die if you don't want to be here. And if you want to be here, or you are here, how do you celebrate that and make the best of it? So you have a dream, but you bite your cuticles all day long. Well, it sounds like you're dispelling your anxiety. That's not a way to get grounded. I want you grounded in the proprioception, not the self-stimulation of biting your cuticles. Yeah, I would say join my 4-month program, because you're working with some deep stuff there. And so we take our dreams and we want to, really be there, feel the possibility, and bring in the nourishment. Yeah, biting your nails is an anxiety response. It's an attempt to motor, and sometimes even to feel yourself if you're numb. So we want to wake up and thaw out from the numbness so that your dreams and your body can connect. Breathing, feeling, and feel the yes, the internalized yes. And now, here's an interesting thing. Whatever emerged for you, you can write it down. And now we're going to float it up to the universe. Like put it in a helium balloon. Take your dream, put it in that helium balloon, and let it go up and up and up into the universe so that it can attract even more support. Because sometimes our dreams are too big for us. We need universal guidance. We need to have listening internally of our next steps. We need an alignment. And so it's like having your dream, but not then narrowing and focusing on it, but giving it breathing room and space and having it show up little piece by little piece. Isn't this fun? We're going to do this for 3 days starting on Sunday. We're going to look at how you dream, what your dreams are, how can you bring your dreams into your foreground, and then What do you do that sabotages your dreams? How do you, you're your own worst nightmare sometimes. I know I used to collapse my dreams a lot and just feel hopeless. And I realized, oh, that's my infant depression I hadn't worked out. It took me a while to understand that. And I could work it out. And then we're going to, really, I'll be sharing with you next steps along this path of this being your best year ever. I'll have some friends coming on and sharing about how they got through this, because it's a really big deal. And I hope that you share this in your stories and tag it, because you'll win a free session. You'll be able to at least enter the drawing for a free session. And if you do come on live, you have to register. The link's in my bio. You can enter the drawing to win a free book. Any book I've written that you want, you get to choose it. And that's my give back. My give back to you is more people following their vision makes a better planet, because we're happier people and we're doing things of good service. We're giving back. And sometimes sharing your own story is a way for your healing and integration. So then you give back. Because once you have enough, it's an overflow to give it back. And that's my vision of the world, is that we're all resourced and figuring it out and in right relationship. So thank you so much for playing today. I hope you've had some interest in your dreaming. I hope I'll see you on Sunday. And as always, blessings, well-being. Use the tools that help you heal and regulate your nervous system. Much love, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.